What you are about to hear might be shocking for you. I'm going to tell you some facts you will hear for the first time in your whole life. Facts you're not supposed to know in your country or from your media. But first, I want you to hear these former Israeli soldiers telling their heroic deeds against the Palestinians in the past, just to understand what I'm going to talk about.
תפסנו הרבה ערבים, אספנו אותם. קומו, הם קמו. הכפר נמחק. שאכן אמרו שהיה טבח. או אני, או הם. מדינה לוקחים עם חרב. כמה אתה חושב אנשים הרגת ככה? לא ספרתי. אני לא יכול לדעת בחיי. היה לי מקלע. תראה, יריתי, נלחמתי כולם. לא יכול לספור. הרגנו בהם, בלי נקיפת פסים.
התעללו בהם ולקחו להם את אברי המין ותקעו להם בפיות. אחד אנס שם איזה ילדה בת 16, משהו כזה.
They told you the Palestinians beheaded some Israeli kids, but they didn't tell you what the UNICEF officially announced a few hours ago, that 700 Palestinian kids lost their lives in the last 7 days. And by the way, the White House apologized for the beheaded Israeli kids story when they discovered it was completely false. But after Biden told the whole world that it's true, they told you the Palestinian terrorists arrested 2 Israeli women. But they didn't tell you the Israeli missiles killed 370 women in 7 days. They told you the Palestinians arrested 100 Israeli soldiers. But did they tell you there are 5,200 prisoners from Palestine in the Israeli prisons, including 42 women and 190 kids? They are subjected to abuse, beatings, and isolation every single day. You might be upset about the Israeli prisoners, but their government themselves aren't upset. They killed about 15 of them with their randomly launched missiles. Yes, they kill their own soldiers among the hundreds of Palestinians that they kill every day. They tell you that Israeli families now live in fear. Sirens are sounding for long times, but they don't tell you that 2,300,000 human beings are spending their 7th day in a row without any water, without electricity, fuel, light, or even medicine. Hospitals can't work anymore. Medical devices stopped working. They can't feed the kids. They can't cure the injured. Israel isolated Gaza from the world. Nothing gets in or out, not even medicine or water. More than 1 million child and women are suffering, more than you can imagine. How long will they survive this, do you think? They tell you some Israeli shops are burned and some streets are affected. But of course, they don't tell you that whole neighborhoods in Gaza are being destroyed to the ground. Large buildings disappeared. Whole families and their houses just don't exist anymore. 8 days now and Israeli missiles just melt everything they fall on, even human beings. 400,000 people are now homeless in just few days. But the worst is that they intend to make them 2 million persons, all Gaza population. They told you that Palestinians are armed. They have some weapons and locally made missiles. But they don't tell you that Israel is facing or attacking them with dreadful air force with millions of missiles, attacking them with large navy, ground forces of about 350,000 soldiers. They have special forces, logistics, and more importantly, they have all the army of the United States of America. And they use all of this to kill only civilians. They can't even face soldiers in battlefield. They escape and start exploding women and children in their homes. Look at this building and tell me, how many people do you think lived in it? How many people do you think died there? Do you know how many houses like this were completely destroyed? Thousands, 6,000 Israeli missiles in the first 6 days. I will let you imagine how many buildings were destroyed, how many civilians were killed. Look at these ice cream vehicles and fridges. They aren't full of ice cream. They are full of dead bodies now, because hospitals are either destroyed or full of dead bodies. People can't recognize the bodies because they are not bodies anymore. They are just carnage, pieces of human beings. This is not a war, it's a massacre. What Israel is doing is not self-defense. It isn't a fair fight. Both sides are not equal in powers, not even close. What Israel is doing is genocide, ethnic cleansing. War crimes are being committed every single single hour, and your governments and media just can't see it. What happened to the Jewish in Germany and they spent years complaining about, they are doing it now to Palestinians in Gaza. They are enjoying it and the world is watching. Now, why don't you hear any of this in your media or in your country? That's simply because of the Jewish power and money. For example, the Jewish money controls Time Warner. Time Warner owns CNN. So how can CNN tell the Israeli crimes? Jewish money has a percentage in Walt Disney, which owns ABC News. Jewish money controls CBS, Fox News, the New York Times, the Washington Post, most of the Associated Press. Jewish money is everywhere and controls most of the media, while Gaza has no one to defend. Facebook itself, it removes any post that tells the world about the reality of what's happening in Palestine, or any posts that telling the world to wake up, including my posts and my videos, while all posts supporting Israel are there and going viral. Can you please give me any reason for this? And now let's answer the most important question. Why don't the Palestinians just live in peace and let Israel be? In 2 minutes you will answer this question yourself. Look at this map. This was Palestine 100 years ago. A few years later, Jews escaped Germany after the terrible things happened to them. They came to Palestine with these large banners with these messages on. The Germans destroyed our families and homes. Don't you destroy our hopes. The Palestinians were so welcoming. They received them in their homes. They shared their country with them, their jobs, their food and water. They shared everything together. In 1946, this was Palestine's map. The green part is the Palestinian land, and white is where the Jewish were staying. In 1947, the map turned into this, according to what United Nations proposed. In 1948, a new state was established with the name of Israel, with all these vast lands, and left these small areas to the Palestinians. Nowadays, in 2023, this is the map. It has been changed from this into this. And now tell me, how can you imagine this map 10 years from now, 20 or 50 years? In your opinion, how long will Israel and its allies let Palestine exist? Do you have any doubt who wants to change this map once more? Who wants to continue his plan? Who wants to end the other country from existing? Everything is clear. 3 days ago, Israel ordered 1 million people who lived in the north of Gaza to leave their homes and head south, or they will destroy them. Don't you think their intentions are clear? Believe me, they just want to make the white part a little bit larger, and you help them to do this. Another question: if this was your country and some strangers occupied it or took it over like this, would you let them live in peace while they are ending your lives till the last single one of you? Now the remnants of Palestinian people live in this big prison. This little area by the sea is Gaza. It has 2.3 million Palestinians, and this vast area is called the buffer zone. It's a part of Israel now, and it's like 6 or 7 times the size of Gaza, but it only has 50,000 Israelis live in it. Is this the justice they seek? Can you imagine how much is Gaza crowded? And now they want to take another part of it. Palestinians live a really difficult life. They don't have any jobs, they don't have resources, no source of income, they don't have factories or companies, they can't make small projects, they suffer just to eat, to educate their children. They simply can't live in their own country. Moreover, the Israeli forces attack them every few weeks. They kill civilians, they take prisoners, making their lives even worse. They just can't let them live. And the global media can't see any of this. America and most European countries can't see any of this and have no reaction at all. And when the Palestinians just think of fighting back or defending themselves or getting any part of the lands back, the whole world and its media are furious. The world announces full support to Israel with money, billions of dollars, supplies, weapons, planes, even soldiers against the ruins of Palestine. Imagine all the great powers of the world stand together against this weak, bleeding remnant of a country. Do you remember what they did to stand with the weak Ukraine when Russia wanted to take its land? This is the opposite of what they are doing now. Do you ever feel ashamed? Believe me, your silence kills more innocent people every day. You can stop this war. At the end, I don't know if you will hear from me soon. I've got 3 of my videos removed. Maybe my accounts are about to be removed, I don't know. And I don't care. For the first time, I don't care about my channels, my success, my future. I only care about saving some lives. If I could only save one person from being murdered, I will be satisfied for the rest of my life. So please help me save some lives. You can do this by telling more people the truth about what's happening, or at least let them see this video. video. Help us reach more people. This is the only way now to save lives. And thank you for watching me till now. واخواتنا العرب اللي مكملين معايا الفيديو لحد دلوقتي، يا ريت تتفاعلوا مع الفيديو وتنشروها على اوسع نطاق، وباذن الله نقدر نساعد اهلنا في فلسطين باي حاجه.